Welcome to the Owens Surveying YouTube channel. I'm Nick Owens. I'm going to take you on a surveying adventure today on this amazing property with this incredible view here in western North Carolina. We're going to do a location, we're going to fly a drone LiDAR and ground LiDAR, and I'm going to take you with me. Let's go. It's really hard to do with one hand. We're gonna get this thing on here and we'll go set it onto our TP nail. And then I'll have to switch over to the other camera. Let's go set this guy up here. Yep, let's see there. There it goes. Oh, yep. That little ridget right there, that's what we wanted to hear.
Here's another very satisfying part. It's much easier to do with one hand, and I bring it with two hands, and I only have the one, so I'm just gonna try to over here this guy. Huh? Oop, too far, maybe. Ooh, this looks like it's gonna be it. Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice.
It's firing up, it's trying, it's going. Alright, so this is our DJI drone. This is a really nice drone. It's capable of doing some really awesome stuff. There's our controller there. We're ready to fly. Just a minute. Alright, so now that I have the base set up going here, we're going to fly this thing. And then after that, I'll show you all the footage. Now. All right, we just finished doing our first flight there. And after we do our flight, every single time I like to go in and fill out my flight in my logbook. I'm gonna do it over here on top of the Owens surveying truck. And you know, if you're a commercial pilot with the FAA, you should probably have one of these. It's actually really fun to get to the end of your flight and kind of recount what you did, even think about all the payload that you put onto your drone, what kind of drone you put in. You know, that's really important, and it's really good to have that kind of stuff documented, especially after you fly your commercial drone. It's today's the 8th. We flew the M350. I'm not going to tell you my location. Fixed wing. It was day. We flew, our payload is the Rock Robotic R3 Pro. We flew this thing 130 feet today. Did one flight, and we took a little fly with our smaller drone too, which I'm also going to put down. The flight probably didn't last more than 5 minutes. we can say 10 minutes just to be safe. As you can see, it is an absolute beautiful day. So it's clear. We're doing this job for a topo survey. It actually feels pretty good for November. 66 degrees. I'm even gonna put that down. That's one of the fun parts about going back in and doing your logbook, is that you're able to really kind of reflect on what you just did. You know, being a drone pilot is super fun. It should be fun, you know, and it should be safe, and this is a part of that safety. And if you are an FAA commercialized or commercial drone pilot, you should definitely have one of these. So we're done with that. We're gonna put this up, then we're gonna go over to our slam. All right, we finished our drone flight. Now we're moving on to go into our slam. Slam is basically something that I like to call it just ground LiDAR. And basically I'll just walk around the property and all those LiDAR points are gonna throw onto the ground kind of the same way that the drone will do that. So after we do that, we'll check our data and then we'll be back. All right, we just finished up our slam data, and now we're gonna check ourselves, make sure that we're all good, and then after that, I'll show you guys what the point clouds look like. In the meantime, maybe enjoy some drone footage. Alright, so here's the data set after we did our flight. All these green marks that you see right here, that's all of the control points that I set, ground control points whenever I went in and did some location beforehand. All these lines you see is the route that my drone went on. So you see right now it's in this bluish color. I'm going to take this flight path off so you can see the data set a little bit better. So the first thing I look for whenever I get my flight finished and whenever I'm processing my data, is I like to get real close right here down to the data set and just kind of get a look. You can see the LiDAR has a little bit of a hard time getting through some trees. Sometimes it gets all the way down to the surface, sometimes it doesn't. But to make sure that we had a good data set, we want to just kind of lift the data set like this and make sure that we have a good flat surface there. Well, obviously we're on an incline, but we want to make sure that all these lines, all these dots that you're seeing right here are lining up with each other. We don't want any fuzz. We don't want them to be overlapping with each other. We don't want to cluster on top of each other. This is how we know that we got good data. So we're going to pull out here. I'm going to show you guys just a little bit more. So all these points that I laid down, all this stuff that you can see, these green points that I picked out, these are all points that I did doing location out on the property. If you have any questions about what location is, you can go right into the comment section and you can ask us. Be happy to explain. So that's the intensity gradient. I'm going to come over here and show you this tool that I've got. I'm going to put it into the RGB. This is our colorized version. So this is pretty neat. I'm going to take out our measurements, just our location measurements, just so you can see it a little bit better. And if you may have noticed earlier in the video, whenever I was showing you the first initial drone footage, these clips right here kind of flashed in a little sneak peek to the data set that we're looking at right now. So it's really phenomenal that we're able to have this kind of technology. We're able to see, like my aerial target right here, I'm able to see that up in the air. This is how I line up all of these measurements right here, rely on this target right here. So that's the aerial flight. Let's go take a peek at let's go take a look at the ground LiDAR that we did. And also here's the contours that were generated from this as well. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay, so let's go look at our SLAM LiDAR, and it's still, we're gonna kind of let that load up here. So as this loads in, I'll kind of explain real quick what ground LiDAR is. Just like the data set that you saw earlier, you know, there's areas of the aerial that just does not really catch. So whenever this loads in, as it is right now, I'm going to blow it in, get a little closer here. You could see, like in the aerial data set, this was all covered up. We couldn't see any of this stuff right here. With the ground LiDAR, this kind of stuff will show up. This really nice data here. And you can also see that compared to the flight, it covers a much bigger area, but these areas right here where there's holes and stuff, that's not ideal. We don't really want to use that kind of data, which is why we do the aerial and the ground. But especially in spots like this, if you like, look at this tree right here. Like, this is a perfect model of this tree. We love that. That's really fascinating. It really gives us a better ability to be able to maybe even identify what that tree is, you know. So that's the SLAM data set. So yeah, that is basically that is the process data that I just showed you. The process data is really neat. We're really excited about what all this can do for us. All right, I know you can't see me really well, but hey, we're done with this job today. And look at this view. This is pretty incredible. The view from this house is so incredible. We're so lucky to be able to work here in Western North Carolina, doing all the surveying and stuff. You know, this is really, really awesome. I like to look out and say that I have the best job in the world doing this. This is so awesome. Just look at that view. And I got to look at that view all day doing this work today. So this has been Owens Surveying's YouTube channel. And this is our first video, actually. And I'm not sure if you could tell, but I'm definitely trying to work out some kinks, especially with the video aspect. I hope that, and you know, this is a format that I'd like to think we're gonna kind of grasp onto, just kind of walking through what I do out on a job, you know, laying location, flying the drone and doing the SLAM. And basically that's my pattern of how I do my LiDAR surveying. You know, if you're a LiDAR surveyor out there, maybe you should consider subscribing, you know. Give this video a like. We always appreciate comments. Comments are huge for this kind of community. Being able to be in this tight-knit aspect would be great, especially if you're a surveyor. And if you don't know anything about surveying, you've come to the right place, because we're going to be planning on doing a lot more stuff that's not just related to the LiDAR. LiDAR surveying is the new deal, and we're really excited to be doing all this stuff. Anyways, that's been this video. It's our first video, so please give it a like, you know, subscribe. We really would appreciate it. And if you have time, please give a comment. This has been Owens Surveying YouTube channel. I'm Nick. Bye-bye. And just look at that. Look at that.